Hello, everybody. This is Eva from SocaMom.com, and this is our Mama Lime Caribbean Mom Chat. We do this every month, second Tuesday, and today we are talking about pop culture and parenting. And we're just going to talk about different topics, what's going on right now, and how moms like us would deal with it, how we are dealing with it when it comes to our kids, stuff like that. So today we have our regulars. We have Alicia from rewindandcomeagain.com. We
Hey, what's up?
have, there she is. We have Nellie from brooklynactivemama.com.
Hello.
We have Onika Pascal from everywhereiseverywhere.com. Basically, she is blogging and she's writing and she is killing it on Facebook right now. Like, you just sit in her timeline all day, don't do any work, just hang out there. If you want pop culture, that's where you go. And we have Nicole. She is new tonight. She is coming to us straight from Trinidad. And she is, you still doing Macaroni Kid, Trinidad?
No, I don't do
No.
Macaroni Kid anymore. Too much
So,
to do that and the
too
blog.
much. So she is at When Did I Become My Mom or Mother?
My mom.
My
When did I become
mom.
my
When did I
mom?
become my mom.com? And I hope, I probably already have become my mom. I could probably, I can't tell you when it happened, but I'm pretty sure I'm already her. I know we now have the same shape. We have the same hair.
Let's not talk about shit.
It's
That's the next issue.
a whole nother show.
Whole other show.
So tonight we're just going to be talking about all kinds of things that are happening right now. You can tweet us with hashtag MamaLime. You can tweet us with hashtag Caribbean Mom Chat. And you guys give them your Twitter handles before you do your topic. Okay, so Onika's first. What are we talking about?
My Twitter handle is at Onika Pascal. That's ONIKA PASCAL. And I'll be tweeting tonight. See?
Yay! So what is your topic for tonight? What is just eating at you right now?
Well, you know, we're talking about the pop culture. Does that include, see, I'm thinking pop as in just hip-hop music, or how are we, what are we touching on?
Anything in popular culture, whether it's TV, you know, ratchetness on the internet, just anything that has to do with what's popular right now, whether it's famous or infamous, doesn't even matter.
Well, we know what the ratchet is right now. And I won't touch it. I really won't touch it because I'm trying to stay away from, you know, the whole, well, see, that whole elevator scene wouldn't have gone down. Somebody was getting kicked off, being left on some floor. No, but, you know, so I'm thinking I want to talk about the music, this new, this rap, and you know, it's not what it used to be back in the 90s or early 80s. It's driving me insane. When I listen to the lyrics when my son is in the car, I'm like, who wants to do what to who's what, when, and how? Like, I don't get it. And it's just so blatant. So I think we touched on this in our last segment, but it's just it's way too much. Way too much for me to handle. So the gospel station is on in my car.
So do you think that it is any, so if you're listening to like soca music where they'll tell you exactly where they're going to put it, how they're going to put it, and you're going to bend over and all of this, I mean, do you think that it's worse because it's actually spoken and not sung with double entendre or something like that? Or,
you know, I was actually thinking about it on the way home from work. So we have soca music, we have reggae music, here we have the hip hop and, you know, the R&B culture. It's just, I guess, I don't want to say it's going with the times because we're still kind kind of prude. We don't want to hear this stuff. But our kids lately, they're singing it bold. They're singing it, like just it's just, for me, it's a little overboard, and there's no regard for any kind of there's nothing to hide anymore. Everything is just out there, and it's for me, it's promoting promiscuity, and it's just too much. But how can we control it? Can it be controlled?
I doubt it, because I mean that's all. Yeah, I hear it now, but what's funny is back when we were young, they would censor it. So what they had a
Right.
radio edit, and then if you were allowed to buy the album, there was that edit.
Right.
And I'm just realizing now when I listen to Backspin or whatever on XM, and we're like with the kids, oh yeah, y'all ought to hear. Wait a minute, he wanted to what?
I'm telling you.
Wait, what did he say? So I don't. We only heard the radio edit of these songs. A lot of these songs were explicit back then.
Right.
But now, with everything on the internet, there is no, standard of appropriateness for
No.
what.
There's no gatekeeper anymore. It's
Here.
like everything
Right.
is available to anyone at any time.
Right.
There's no barrier. That's what
Right.
it is. I don't
And with
think
radio, they
music
had
is
to have something.
exactly. And who listens to the radio anymore? I mean, I don't know.
Nobody.
I don't.
I don't. I
Nobody.
sure enough don't. Mm-mm.
And you
I
weren't
don't
allowed
know.
to even have headphones like that, our parents couldn't hear what we were hearing.
Right.
So it wasn't like you could walk around with your headphones in. That wasn't
Right.
about to happen.
No, you were jacked into the speaker and the stereo, and you had to sit there and listen
Right.
to it.
Right, and they'll tell you pull it out so we can all hear it. Really?
Right.
I don't. Mm.
I do find it a little more raunchy, or maybe I'm just older now. I don't think I have such a problem with it because I do remember, kind of raunchy music back then. I just think it's bad. Like, I just don't think it's. I have some problems with how raw they are, but I just think there's no. At least I felt like back in our day, like we
Oh,
go
no.
old.
Did we really say that?
But even if it was raw or risque, it was good music. I felt like
Yeah.
that's the difference. Like, you could kind of overlook it because there was real melody, it was real
Right.
music, it was real lyricism. They would plays on words.
You see, with that, you didn't realize until you were like 21, 22. Oh, that's what he was singing?
Right.
Yeah.
No, it's just right there, and they know exactly what everything is. And, sometimes it's actually an uncomfortable feel, especially when my son's, his friends are in the car, and this music is playing, and I'm like, oh, my God, I have one of those. It's like, it just makes me feel uncomfortable. Granted,
Yeah,
the music, the rhythm, the beat might be catchy. When you listen to the words, it's just like you want to cover up yourself. I'm just folding my arms, like, it's. I mean, I have my little prudish ways, but I just feel like that can. But Nicole, now we're talking about the hip hop. Tell me what you think about the explicit soca music.
Yeah, because I
you
mean,
think it's like the same?
I think a lot of it. I think there's a lot of the same because we do, we listen to a lot of hip hop here as well. And
Right.
we also listen. I mean, there's a lot of rap, and there is also. I mean, there's a lot of reggae. I was gonna say dub, but that's back in our days. But I mean, even then, like, I was thinking along the same lines. We had a lot of stuff back in our day that I was thinking was not that bad. It was kind of, it was risky, but it was not bad. But just the other day, I put on one of the tapes that we used to listen to, because we had the mixtapes. And I was listening to it, and I was thinking, I can understand very much why our dads particularly were horrified. I remember my friend's dad pulling us aside and telling us, no, sing it for me. You sing the lyrics of this song for me.
I would have fell out.
And to us it was like, yeah, I mean, that's the song, but we don't really mean it. We don't, that's not us, that's not who we are. So I guess our kids are kind of the same way, but the difference is that you would never hear some of those songs on the radio. You just wouldn't hear it on the radio. And that's where we got a lot of our music, was from the radio. And now we don't really know what our kids are listening to unless you have a relationship with your child. You don't know what your kids are listening to. And a lot of what they do play on the radio, what they do talk about on the radio, because we have a lot of kids that take taxis to and from school, right?
Mhm.
And so, the music in the maxi, the talk in the maxi, those shows that happen at those times. Some of it, I mean, I'm cringing because it's one thing to be sitting in your car and you're comfortable, but it's a very different thing if you're a schoolgirl sitting down next to
Right.
some
Mm.
lecherous, nasty man who's next to you and you feel uncomfortable,
Like,
you
like,
You're
know?
right.
like
You're
Onika,
right.
she's like, oh, let me just, oh,
Yeah, same way you're saying you want to cover up. And so, I mean, why are we doing that to our kids? I mean, I think we need to
I don't
be, in
know.
Trinidad, we need to be more responsible on the radio, I think. But we are,
mm,
from the time you raise anything, it's like, oh, well, you're a prude, or, well,
Mm,
if you don't want to hear it, go somewhere else. Well, I
Right.
think that there should, we've gone the opposite way where when we were younger, it was like, if it was public, it had to be family safe,
yep,
and
Yeah.
if you wanted to have
yes,
anything different, you go home. And now it's the other way. It's like, well, everything is going to
mm,
be explicit out here, and if you
Right.
want something different, you do that in your house. And I think that's the
mm.
Right.
wrong direction.
wow, that is a thought because I remember when certain programs would not be on TV until after 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock,
Right.
because that was the
Yeah,
family programming time. Now, and
yeah,
there was certain commercials, like you would have no commercials for sanitary napkins.
Right.
You'd have no
Mhm.
commercials for, I mean, alcohol or anything like that until
yeah,
after 9 o'clock, so that your
Yeah.
kids, if you didn't want to have that conversation, you don't have
Right.
to. Now,
right.
my kids are like, wait a minute, so where does that go? Okay, what's that blue stuff they keep pouring in there? Where does the blue stuff come from?
Right. You're right,
I'm
though.
like,
You're right.
so is it like the blue stuff that's in the toilet? Are they taking
Oh my
that out? I'm like,
God.
oh my God. Okay, listen, don't worry
Uh,
about what those are. You don't have to worry about what those are.
But
So yeah.
have you seen the recent commercial? I think it's about panty liners. And she's talking to, they're sitting in like an auditorium or a room. I don't know where they are, but she's like, I have Sam in my pants now. And I'm like, what is she talking about?
Wait,
Then they
who?
got out the kitchen to look at the thing, and she's talking about the panty liners. And I'm like, really? They had to make it that
The panty
sexual,
liners
that
in
Yeah,
explicit?
Damn.
Have you guys seen
That's
that commercial?
no.
Oh.
I
I
feel
have
like I
found it on
heard it, but I
YouTube.
just didn't, because now we
yeah,
actually pause the TV, go do
right.
other
Yeah.
things, and then so that
Oh,
we can fast forward through the commercials.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna find it and I'll
Because
post it.
just wow. I mean, the commercials alone. I'm going. My kids want to know about Viagra. They want to know about Cialis. They want to know, Daddy, why don't you take that so that you and Mommy can be in love like that?
Oh
Really?
my goodness.
Seriously, we're good. We don't need. We're good. We're
My
good.
boys school me half the time. I'm not paying attention, and I love Family Guy, and I know it's not like kid friendly, but I love it. So I'm like, they're teenagers, it's fine. That's how I tell myself. So we all watch it, and they're catching things I'm not catching. They're like, Mommy,
Oh my
you know
gosh.
Stewie's gay, right? And I'm like, what? He's a baby. What are you talking about?
Wait,
Or
huh?
they're laughing at jokes. I'm like,
Okay,
Is
why
that
are you
true?
laughing?
no. I mean, I know he likes to wear dresses every now and then, but I didn't think that through. I didn't
That's
catch.
what he said. That's what they told me. And
Oh
they'll catch
wow.
adult jokes that I'm thinking is going, the writer's meant for it to fly over the kid's head, and the parent will catch it, but they are dying laughing, and I'm like,
What? What? No. And then you're like, what's so funny? I mean,
right.
I've
genuinely
never watched
not
that
know
show.
what's so funny.
Never watched Family
Yeah,
Guy.
I've never watched it either.
I
I'm
can't
ratchet
make it
mom. I
through.
love it.
I can usually get through the first 5 minutes, and then it goes to a kind of a nasty place, and I
Yeah, it
like
does.
a
So that's
person
your
like because the
ratchet
first
TV, Alicia, right? That's your
Well, yeah,
ratchet.
that's my ratchet.
No, I'm just all about the love and hip hop all day.
Oh,
I
Oh
can't.
my God. I've
I
never
can't.
watched that either.
That's
I have
what?
me.
to see
That's
them.
me right there.
No.
Oh,
Nicole, what is your guilty
you
TV?
about
What
to
is
turn up.
your?
I mean, everybody else is saying they don't watch Family Guy, but
Thank
Family
you.
Guy is hilarious.
Let me
Thank you.
quiet. I don't.
That's my guilty pleasure. And I did actually feel bad for a while, for not a long time, for a minute, where I was like, I can't have these kids watching this. But then they were like, I didn't want to send them away. I'm like, this is our time. We're going to hang out and watch TV. But I didn't want to watch what they wanted to watch. And I was like, they're teenagers. It'll be good conversation. And it does sometimes turns out to be good conversation. Like, now you know why it's not right for a quagmire to invite all these young ladies to his house, right? And
So when you guys are watching something with your kids and it is and something comes up, do the kids get a lecture?
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
something comes up, somebody's not listening, somebody's being disobedient, somebody's
Yeah.
whatever. Do
Oh
they
yeah.
get the lecture? Like, and this wouldn't happen, and my kids look at me like, Mom, this is TV. That's one.
Right.
Yeah.
Two, this show is from 1970, whatever. I don't even know what a tape deck is. So, yeah,
Well,
because they were watching
y'all
the.
know I have a big hardback man in this house. So
Oh God.
come, let me talk to you about this. But last night, I get him and his friends are playing video games, and every 2 minutes, like, oh fuck, oh really?
Yes,
I
yes.
walk.
Oh,
I have flavored condoms. If I hear it come out your mouth one more time, you'll be eating it for dinner.
oh,
That's
I
it.
wouldn't make
You
it.
know, so now it's like, and I mean,
Yeah.
he doesn't curse, but I guess the whole game or whatever it is they're playing, they have those moments where, it comes out.
Yeah,
No, we'll deal with that some other way. You can play the game, just keep your mouth shut.
right.
We will be having flavored condoms for dinner if it comes out again. Don't play.
But I think the
That is
question
a
is,
very-
why does Mom have flavored condoms?
Yeah, that's
That would be my question.
Why is that the food of choice?
I don't have it. I really don't have it, but I know it exists. I'll gladly go get
It's
some.
something food.
Right,
It's
right,
scary
like
threat.
Okay.
plastic, dog. Like we don't want them eating plastic.
Oh my
I think
God.
just raising it. It doesn't even have to go to dinner. The fact that it comes out of your mouth is like, all right,
Yes, I don't like it.
Then he'll be so stunned he won't even know how to continue.
That's correct.
I don't think I heard it again for the rest of the night, so it worked. It worked.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
That's happened with my boys when they've had their friends over and they're all into some game, or they're listening to music, the same music, and they're like pumping it up on the iPad,
Yeah.
and they're like F this B or whatever, and I'm like,
Oh my
F,
God, not making it.
what are you listening to? And they're like, oh, sorry, and I'm like, why are you even listening to that? And then part of me feels
I don't get it.
hypocritical because I can't remember the song, but it was like a good beat, and I'm like in the kitchen like, oh, that's hot. What is that?
You bop your head to the beat until you hear what's coming out of the guys
And then they
or
singing
whoever's
it, and I'm
singing
like,
now. Yeah.
no, y'all don't sing that. That's not right. But I don't know.
I mean,
I feel
don't get
two
me
ways
wrong.
about
I
it.
had my R. Kelly fetish back in the day. R. Kelly is just
Holla.
Mr. Nasty, But lately, it's just too much. They don't even. You go to the dictionary and find words or use a thesaurus and change the words. They're just using the blatant explicit thing. But what are we gonna do?
Well, yeah, one of the things that I think is different between Caribbean culture and American culture is that there is no double entendre. It's like, this is what we do. This is
Yeah.
how we're going to do it. This is how I'm going to do it. And you're going to like it. And this, but there is no, a cat is a cat. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Or we always had a different way of saying it so that little kids in the room,
Right.
they might still get smacked for singing it, but they don't know why. They're like, but it's about a cat. I don't.
Yeah.
I thought somebody lost his cat and he wanted it back. No,
Wait, so you
that
saying
wasn't it.
Caribbean music has double entendres or no?
That it does. That
Yeah.
we have the double entendres there, but in American music, it's not there.
Right.
It's just
blatant.
flat out how it's gonna go down. So I
No,
think
that
that's
makes
another thing that makes it a little bit different. So now, like my oldest, I won't play old records for him.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's just the two youngest, they really think it's about cats, and they really think that he has two mangoes and a banana. That's what they really believe that. They're counting fruit.
Wait,
They're not thinking about nothing else.
wait till the plumber comes to fix the pipe and get
Oh
the
God, the plumber.
Oh my
You watch it
gosh.
run.
Oh Jesus, the plumber.
I'm telling you, there are so many plumbers that have a lot of business in.
And I remember
working a
singing
lot.
those songs hard, and I had no clue what I was singing.
Nope.
Neither did I.
I'm telling you, so
Neither
it's
did
not
I.
until later you get to realize like, oh my God, that's what I'm singing.
Yep.
But now they're calling it all sorts of things, and you know what it is, and you just like it's too much.
But I mean, back in the day, we didn't have as many videos going along with the songs. And
Right.
the videos were extremely lame,
Mhm.
so there wasn't that kind of visual going along with it.
Visual, yeah.
But now, I really, really want my kids to grow up steeped in their culture and in their music and, the history and whatever. But
Mhm.
I mean, our music, our traditional soca music, you almost want to keep them away from it a little bit. Like
Yep.
in our day, you'd sit down and you watch the Mashgra, you watch, we didn't have
Right.
Calypso Monarch when I was younger, but I can't sit down and watch Soca Monarch with my children. I
No,
mean, did you
because
see Kerwin Dubois this year? With what, that is not a cage full of girls on
right.
stage. And,
I
Oh,
didn't
see,
I mean,
yeah,
even
this
heard
is not,
about it. Yeah.
mm-mm.
Wait, so
yeah,
it's not the music, it's what goes on with the
that's
music?
correct. It's the
Well,
imagery
yeah,
and
they're
everything
giving
that
the
goes on.
visual
It's the
of
music
how
as well.
to. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if it didn't slip you, if the double entendre didn't slip you, if you didn't quite get it, if you were just listening to the words, if you were just kind of singing along, caught up in the tune, there's no mistaking it. And the videos and on stage performances, it's
It's like,
horrible.
oh, if you didn't know what I meant by hardback, let me show you exactly what I meant by that. I wasn't
Oh my
talking about
God.
you. Let me show you how this goes.
Oh Jesus.
I think it's kind of an evolution, though, right? I feel like as time goes on around the world, we're all or society is getting a little more permissive, a little exposing more than they used to back then. So across cultures, we're all, I feel like, getting more.
Selfish. It's
I don't know.
selfish.
Selfish. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
I want to see
Now,
it and I want to see it now, and why should I have to not see it because their kids around? That's what it is. It's
Agree.
selfish.
Yeah.
We're
Agree.
selfish.
I mean,
now,
even
we had,
T Pain. Do you guys heard that T Pain song? It's
I
up and
don't
down or
like
something like that. And I
it's a
just
what
couldn't
now?
believe it. It's just
Wait,
like
what's the
it's
song? What's the song?
T Pain. I don't know what it's called. I think it's called Up and Down. It's the only part I heard that's like actually
See
go, and
now,
it's pretty much just made for the strip clubs. Like they make certain songs for the strip clubs because it's actually directing the women on how to be on the pole. And
Right.
it's like,
and that's what
what?
every parent wants to
This is
do.
what's
Keep
playing
their
on the
children
radio?
off of
Like
it. That's
really?
my
You
plan.
know?
Like that's
I
part of
wonder
my
if
thing.
we get a group of moms like around the country, like the moms who go out and
Protest
roll
something.
away and they robes and just show up at these clubs and these and just
Something.
what they keep singing. It's just it's ridiculous now.
Well,
I
we
just
sound like our parents right now.
We do.
I
Just so you know
know.
that. Just so
Man,
you
I
We
owned
know.
up
do.
to that
yes,
though.
ma'am. We
I
know.
All
so
our
Now,
kids are like looking at us like, really? These old ladies.
now Sharif, who is at Sharif Jackson on Twitter, he says that it is called adult music for a reason.
Oh,
Now,
Mm,
I
okay.
understand that.
Yeah,
I
but how
understand
can we hide it from them?
But yeah, there's really no way these days. Back then, there was a way to do it. You could just say, you know what, there is no
No
whoever after
radio.
dark. Because remember, you
Yeah.
had to turn the radio off at 11. I think it was 11 o'clock. That's when all of the love
Yeah, buddy.
songs would come on, all the business.
the
Or
quiet.
and then and remember, even MTV had an MTV After Dark. They
Yeah.
had
Yeah,
BET.
yeah.
time
Remember
where they
BET?
BET had where they played
Yeah.
the rap music after 2 p.m.
Right.
Now, not that
That's
I
when they
was
played. That's
watching
when
it.
they
I'm
played
just
Luke and
saying.
stuff.
Right.
Right.
Right, Eva.
That's when you found out that these guys even had videos. You were like,
Yeah.
so
You're
this
like,
song
what?
comes with a video? I didn't know. But they
Yeah.
had like a whole section that was just for that. But now it could be 2 o'clock in the day
It don't matter.
and they can see it.
It
I mean,
does not matter.
you can't hide it from them, or it's in their iPod. They don't have to have you sign for them to download this stuff.
Sure don't.
And now that they can download videos.
Yep.
So they can, or they don't even have to. They can watch it on YouTube.
I
Yeah.
think
Yep.
that's the key. I think the key
Anything.
is that there is no gatekeeper. Everyone is can, as long as you have a Wi-Fi connection, a
Yeah.
phone, whatever, you can get to whatever you need to get, and so there's nothing to hide anymore.
Yeah. So what do you do with that though? Because I mean, it doesn't seem to be going away.
No.
And
Yeah.
and you can't, I mean, you can't keep it from them forever. So, I mean, I guess what I try to do, and it's not easy, and I think every parental relationship with each child, I mean, not just, who you are as a parent, but each child, every relationship with each child is going to be different. But I think it's really important. That's why it's so important to talk to them and say, okay, talk to your kids and say, you're going to encounter this. What do you think about it? How are you going to deal with it? How are you going to treat with it? What do your friends think about this? And these are the possible implications. And you don't
Right.
want to be all
Yeah.
stuffy, but
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, you talk to your kids, and you just kind of you have to make sure that you all have open communication and they're comfortable talking about what they encounter, because
Right.
you can't. There's no censorship. You can't, as you said, there's no
Right.
gatekeeper.
Yeah.
You can't stop them from it. You can't block them from it. But you can teach them how to cope or say that these are the values that we have.
Yeah.
But then when we say values and they see on the TV like these Real Housewives of
Yeah,
everywhere on, I mean, the closest ratchet we got back in our day was, for me, Calabash Alley. You didn't have that
yeah,
whole, you just had the typical stuff. But now I mean, I loved Real Housewives of Atlanta. That was my thing, but I stopped watching it weeks ago. Um, I just can't do it anymore. Like, seriously, you people get paid to come here and act a fool and teach kids that we're not doing this for real, but we're showing you this is how you can
And you can
behave.
get
Like,
paid
it's,
for it. And
yeah,
you can get paid.
and
A lot of money.
The
a lot
problem is that I think that this next generation doesn't critically, when we're not teaching them how to critically view all this info and all this stuff that was not available before. It's just
right,
bombarding them, and no one's teaching them how to separate the wheat from the chaff, how to say you can have some ratchet fun, but that's not how we behave in real life. This is just
yeah,
for entertainment purposes, but that's not how you're not to take in these as ways to behave and ways to believe. Like, that's, I believe, up to the individual parent. And unfortunately, in my experience, I find that a lot of parents grow up in that, and so they can't teach otherwise. So that's why
right.
when you go to the PTA and you find Miss So and So acting up and acting crazy, and you're like, you somebody's mother. What is wrong with you? And no wonder your child is acting like that, because they grew
Everybody's
up in
mama
it.
is turning up. They turn up. It's like, wait,
yep,
what are you doing?
I mean, I feel like I can watch that stuff, but I can enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not gonna, and I can speak to my kids about, how we can watch this and it's fun and whatever, but you know how you're supposed to act, and you're not
but
gonna get online.
even as an
You had
adult, sometimes
context.
it's a turn off. It just gets
Yeah,
to be too much. Like, I don't even want to see this mess right now.
And
But
yeah,
you know,
everyone has their level.
yeah, and
yeah,
the thing is, for you would have grown up in something different, right? You grew up with Cosby on TV. You grew up with
Yep.
mhm,
certain things being totally
Right.
unacceptable for your parents, and
right.
but that's not everybody's reality. So, I mean, what do you do? How do you really tell your kids, well, that's not the real world, because it is the real world for some people, you
Right.
know?
And I tried to
Um,
get the boys into Cosby, and they're like, this is boring.
Yeah, my niece and
Well,
they always
Cosby's
said,
the best.
why do you watch this over and over? Because it's what I know and I like. Like, I would watch a different world.
Oh
yeah.
I
my
know
God, me
every
too.
episode, every
Absolutely.
episode, and I
But
mean,
what I do find is my boys like to watch Family Matters and My Wife and Kids and stuff like that over
Yeah.
again.
okay,
And now that I'm watching it again, I'm like, oh, that was a little. So a lot of the
Yeah.
humor was
Those
risque.
Yeah, those in My Wife and Kids, and see, I don't watch those because
yeah,
Mm.
I never watched it either.
when I started watching it, I was like, wait, he said what now? But
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
oh,
My Wife and Kids is a
what
little
now?
risque. It was out
Yeah,
there.
but
Yeah.
I now on TV1, I'm actually getting my kids caught up on old school TV. So they watch What's Happening.
Oh
They
my
watch
God,
Oh,
Jeopardy.
I
really?
love it.
And
Yeah.
what's funny is, like, it's even older than I am.
Yeah.
So, we're
Yeah.
actually seeing something that's out of time for both of us, and it's really funny.
Oh, I
So they're
have to
talking
watch
about the
that.
Doobie Brothers and stuff like that. So we
Yes.
ended up going on to onto Wikipedia, and my son, of course, he's always like, "Are they dead yet?" And I'm like, "Yes, they're dead. Okay, just how
Kill
many of them are still
everybody.
alive?" That's his thing. Are they all dead? Like, are we watching dead people on the screen right now?
Oh my
Oh
God.
my
That's
gosh.
gonna
They're
be some
all
blood
dead. Well,
stuff.
how many of them are alive? So we end up in Wikipedia trying to find out who did what, and they actually end up finding out about all these great producers from back in the day and all
Yeah.
kinds of stuff like that.
Yeah.
So they don't even have time for 99% of the ratchet. They still get about 1% through the commercials that I can't weed out or we
Mm.
can't fast forward.
Right.
But so they know about a lot of stuff. Like, they know about TV, and they look at the DVR. They're like, "So, mommy, how come you can watch Real Housewives and we can't watch Real Housewives?" So things like that. But now I have a question.
Mm.
Rihanna and her closelessness.
Hmm.
Um, do you all feel like you want to? You know how whenever there's somebody from the West Indies anywhere, we claim them.
Right.
Do you see that she's not really being claimed as much? It's kind of like,
What has she been up to? I haven't. I mean, I know she did
being
some
naked.
Vogue cover.
Just staying naked. If she could be
Staying
anyone
naked.
naked, just stay naked, and then
I
Pierce
feel
something
like
else
that's
to
her.
be
I
naked
don't.
then
I
too.
don't. I don't expect much else from her. I expect some good dance music. Turn up every now and then and be naked.
But I mean, here's the thing. This is what concerns me. So she puts on her Instagram, because now, I mean, and there's no censorship there. You can post whatever you want to post.
Oh man.
Well, actually, they tried censoring her the other day, and they took down one of her pictures, I think, and she's like, "To hell with y'all, I'm going to Twitter." So I think Instagram
but
had that
Twitter does
little.
too now. Twitter censors now too. They're like, this is sensitive content. So
Oh, really? Well, I haven't.
yeah.
Well, yeah. Okay. We'll leave
So they
Twitter.
took her stuff down.
The one
It's
thing
about
about
time, but
Rihanna, though, the one thing about Rihanna is that she obviously has 12-year-olds following her, 13-year-olds following her. And
Yes.
she has to be super responsible when it comes to that stuff. And that's where, that bothers me a
But
little.
she does not care. She
has
clearly
no
No.
care.
She doesn't
No
care. Like whatever.
But
None.
didn't Kanye say something like that some time ago? Like they were like, "You're a role model," and was it Kanye? I can't remember who it was. But they were like, "I'm just me. I'm not a role model to your kid. If they look up to me, then that's your job to make sure they know right from wrong or whatever."
Okay.
Something like that.
Which is a
But
point.
I mean, it is a lot of pressure and that's why I think a lot of those celebrities break. Like they're either on drugs because they have to, like look at what's the chick's name? Miley Cyrus.
Mm.
She young girl, and that's Disney molds them to be this little
Perfect.
princess kind of thing, and then they're ready to bust out and smoke and do all this, and they can't do it. But they're not your kids' role models. The character they play is the role model, So it's a real to transition from that role they play to their real life. It's always going to give a culture shock to anybody who knew them as that person they're seeing on TV. So
Now,
I
do you
hate
think
to say,
she could even have a
such and
Caribbean
such.
mom? Because her most recent thing with her with the huge blow up
Mm-hmm.
penis. I mean,
Who? Miley?
yes,
Who?
it was
I
on
missed
stage
that
with
one.
a giant
I missed that one.
latex blow up penis, doing things to this giant, like
Oh.
man size, like not man, like it's the size of a human.
What?
Oh.
Yes, and she's on stage with it, doing all kinds of lewd things.
That's ridiculous.
At what point, when you see your girl child on stage,
Oh.
do you get into a plane?
Is her mama
do it?
even around? Everything's the daddy. Like I don't even hear
I never
or
see anything about the mother.
No.
I think the parents are kind of, because here's the thing, if you've had so much attention as a little kid, once you transition to an adult, you can't get that same kind of attention unless you're being ridiculous.
Like that. Mm-hmm.
Right.
But do you think she could even have a Caribbean parent that would put up with
It
her
would
even go in that
depend.
direction?
It would
I
depend.
think they're Caribbean parents who would be quite fine with you doing anything as long as it meant that you were successful and they got to say, that is my child.
Wow.
My child is the top whatever. And then,
Well, that's a thought.
I mean, you got
That's-
ratchet people all over the globe, so there's some ratchet Caribbean folks out there who'll be like, yes, girl! Yeah. That's me child, that.
So you mean when the air starts to go out, they'll be on the side with a bicycle pump, making sure there's more air. That's a mess.
Put on the shoe,
I don't care if it don't fit, put it on. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I don't know if having a Caribbean parent would make a difference, but I mean, I think we've touched on this many times. We have our own standard of what's right, what's wrong, or how not to act in public and all this stuff. But again, with the culture of today,
Yeah.
We're losing that
Mm.
comfort zone of of how
I agree
to
with you.
train and bring up our kids. And look now, this whole thing in Trinidad, you can't, with the beating,
Yeah.
you can't beat your kids no more, and I can't see that going down in, in Trinidad.
Like
Like,
anyone
I
gonna
can't
change their
see.
behavior because some law, please.
But you
Yeah.
know what? It's not just Trinidad because we were watching. I told you we watched What's Happening, and the one we
Yeah.
saw today, Raj had to be like 17,
Mm.
and
hmm
his mom took off his friend's belt and beat his butt.
Oh yeah,
Now
yeah.
this
Mm.
was on regular TV, like this was
Mhm.
a
That
Right.
was
normal
normal
thing.
though.
Right.
So can you imagine people? So that's not just that's like just people.
right,
So
Yeah.
can you
Yeah.
imagine when you tell somebody just one generation from that, oh no, it's against the law. Oh,
right.
okay.
So
Yeah.
spanking is no longer discipline; it's just flat out abuse. And I think
Yeah.
there's a medium. There's
Yeah.
you
A
know,
middle ground.
because I think as human beings, we naturally have a reaction of aggression. But if you don't know, if it can't be curbed, that's, I don't condone beatings and all that stuff. I don't do the spankings. But to watch somebody, like the lady on the video, I think she disciplined her, but she went a little too far. And then the
But
I
why
could
next
was
not
there
day,
a
watch
video?
it.
That's my problem.
that's
Why?
I
my
still
thing.
haven't
Like
seen it.
she was
I couldn't watch it.
humiliating her for
But
her.
then that's it. Just humiliate
Yeah.
her.
I
Like when
felt
my
like I had
son
no
went,
place there. Yeah.
right,
I couldn't watch it.
my
I
son
still
was cleaning
haven't
the
seen it.
I
bathroom.
haven't seen it because I can't watch
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Me too. I can't.
I saw it.
And
I
I'm
mean,
not judging her. I just want to.
right.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. And the thing is,
I think Nicole is fading.
oh, Nicole, we can't hear you. Nicole, we can't hear you. Can you hear us?
She's
Yeah, you might
echoing.
be by accident.
Uh
Nicole
Technical
Curran gone.
difficulties.
oh. I can't hear her. She's gone.
No.
I'm hearing her, but like very distant, very, very far.
Uh
Don't be,
oh. I see
don't
her
be
set.
sad. We'll save you.
No sad face.
I don't see her. She's frozen, I think.
Oh, you don't see her at all.
I
I
see her
see
now.
her.
Yeah.
I see her.
All of you guys are frozen on my computer.
Uh
Oh
oh.
no.
No.
Brennan.
Oh
But you can
no.
hear me, so that's good.
She's like, but I'm here. So this is right.
All right, we're back in action.
Oh, you can hear her now?
No.
No.
No, not anymore.
Uh oh. Okay. Hold on a minute.
You hear
So
me now?
Nicole, wait.
Oh, see
Uh
this?
oh.
Got something.
I thought we heard you for a second.
Yeah, I did.
Not gonna work.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. We heard you. We heard you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we
Yeah.
can.
Yes.
Yay!
Let me take a
Teamwork
drink
makes
for
the
that.
dream work.
We were all over here just praying, just
And
praying.
it had to be, I'm in Trinidad and y'all are all up there and it had to be me. Yeah. But yeah, so we were talking about the Facebook and the mom and the privacy and
right.
the humiliation.
Do you think it was because she wanted some shine and it didn't go the way that she wanted? Like, watch me be the best parent in the
No.
world?
I think it
I
What
don't
was
think-
it?
I don't think that she expected ever that it was going to get the attention. I think it was kind of a wake-up call for her as well. Because a lot
Right.
of parents, they might be on Facebook and they know something gets viral, but you and I, we are a little bit more social media savvy, and you kind of know what will trigger something to go viral. I don't think she had a clue. I think she posted this thing and she felt like she was going to embarrass the child in
Right.
front of her friends.
Right.
In front of this limited group of people, and this is just
Yeah, right.
a real
All it
big
takes
lesson
is
for her
one
as well.
share button.
Yeah, just like you were
So-
trying to tell her that your stuff can be seen by everybody, and this is not what
Right.
She learned the same lesson, and she learned it the hard way.
Mm.
So
This is true.
are they pressing charges against her?
I don't know. I hope not, because I think that
I thought I
would
read
be-
that somewhere that
I
she
saw that
they
early
were-
on, but I really think. I mean, counseling should be the first thing, not so, right? I mean, like getting
But she said she
communication
did
back.
say she's tried. She said she tried everything. She,
Yeah.
she
But
took
the
her,
girls
she
picked
talked
up
to
for
her,
her. Yeah,
sent her
and the
to be
girls.
with. She's just not. And you see,
It's
that's the whole thing
hard.
with the culture. She's probably getting, the music videos and the
Exactly.
TV shows,
You
and she
know,
wants to be,
she
it's
wants to be
hard
so
to,
exactly.
yeah,
Somebody was telling me that they think that they really believe that the girl was. What if the girl was a good girl, right? And she felt this is just a hypothetical. I don't know any of the parties involved. But let's say that the girl was a typical good girl, right? And
Hmm.
she was in school and she was not, she's not one of the cool girls. They're looking
right,
down on her. You're not on Facebook. You're not doing this. We are all doing this. And
Right.
maybe she wanted to belong. And so maybe she wanted to
Yeah.
show, well, I can do it too. In
yeah,
her
and that's the
naivety,
scary part.
it's possible. We really don't know. And that is,
Right.
I mean, I really think it could happen to anybody.
Of
We
course.
can't assume that
Mm.
this child was, a bad child. And as much as the mom says that she was talking to her, don't we all talk to our kids? Don't we all, aren't we always talking to our kids?
Right.
Hmm.
You
Always,
know?
always.
Always.
I mean, I find it very hard to judge. And I really think that it's important for parents to, first of all, talk to your kids, and second of
Yeah,
all, you have to know to guide them. When you talk about your
yeah,
kids going out to clubs, right? When we were
Oh my
younger,
gosh.
right? And your parents kind of tell you, don't do this, don't accept drinks, don't do this, don't do whatever.
Yep, don't put your
But
drink down and come
yeah,
back.
but as a parent, you need to be guiding your child online. This is
yeah,
life and it's happening
yeah,
online. And if you are isolated from it, how are you going to teach your child? And there's so many parents that really need to, as much as you might say Facebook is a waste of time or, whatever it is, you need to know because you need to guide
yeah.
them, you
That's
know?
so true.
So, do you guys think that okay, so celebrities in America could be reality TV stars, which means they're just famous for being famous.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now they get famous for sex tapes. They
Yep.
get famous for just anything that's out of control.
Yep.
They end up making million. Like the Kardashian empire is built on a sex tape, basically.
Right.
And I've never
So,
watched that show. Like, never.
I've never
so
watched it either.
I haven't seen it, but I mean, it must have been epic. She got a heck of a lot of money right now, so all of that for the
Yeah.
tape. And
She knows
Rachel
how
is
to work
like,
it.
dude, what about me? But anyway, um, do you
Listen, when
think
I get
that?
a little, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just saying, do you think that people in the Caribbean view celebrity differently from what Americans view
Hmm.
celebrity? Because here, 15 minutes is all you need. Do
Mm.
you
Right.
think that it's
Yeah.
different um, depending on where you are? Or do you think now American culture is pop culture? Like that's it?
I'm not really familiar
That's
with
a good question.
Caribbean celebrity. I mean, I know American culture is exported everywhere, so you're gonna get a feel of that. And from what I've seen on, Yardy Twitter or whatever, you know, they have, Caribbean people have similar opinions on, ratchet celebrities that we do. I don't know if it's different for homegrown celebrities versus American celebrities, being exported out. If, Sean Paul is in some scandal or when who was in jail, Beanie, Buju, whoever, or Vibe.
Bullshit.
Somebody
Yeah.
You just want to go
Bullshit.
voices.
So I don't know what the reaction is to when those things happen
But
versus
then, but wasn't there like a sex tape scandal in Trinidad some years ago? And I think it was what's her name? That designer. What I forgot.
Oh,
Anya.
yes,
But I
Anya.
think it was like
Yep.
a 20-minute
oh
kind of
really?
thing. But here it goes on for months. It goes on for years. I mean, look at
Yeah.
Kim Kardashian. Years later, and she's still, this
She
is
has an
her
empire built on it. She's on
her
the
thing.
cover of Vogue. I mean, it's like how she's marrying Kanye West. How do you tell your kids this is bad for you? You should not do this. And they're like, but she made a
Um,
living out of it.
Let me
So,
get me a little sugar daddy. Watch and see something.
You gotta
I bet
embed
you.
that from jump. I feel like because I feel like people who are just embedded with because even if your kid doesn't listen, I feel like it just becomes a part of them. Like with me,
Yeah.
my father in particular always ingrained not to take things from people, not steal, but like not to go to people's house. You don't sleep over people's house. If they
No, we
offer,
didn't
you
do that
say
either.
no. You don't. No, you don't want anything to drink. No, you don't want anything.
Don't
You
want
don't
anything.
borrow money. You
You're
don't
not
do
hungry.
exactly. So at the time, I was like, "You're crazy. Like these are my friends. What are you talking about?" But now I do it and I don't even realize I'm doing it. I'm like, no, thank you. I'm starving, but I'm going, no, I'm good. Thank
Right.
you. No, I don't want anything. No, I won't come. I'm not going to spend the night. I'm going to go home. It's all right. It's all right.
Yeah.
And it's because it's just ingrained in me, and now I realize it. So I feel like if you keep at it with your kids and not beat them over the head, but, subtle lessons here and there, it becomes a part of them.
It seeps in. It seeps in for sure.
Yeah. Subtly. They don't even know it.
Mm-hmm.
But
Turn
my
around
son, he stay asking to go. Well, he don't always ask, but once in a blue moon, I'll get, Ma, can I go to my friend's having a party? Really? Call the mother. Let me ask. Because no, you're not. So he know now not to even ask. He just don't even. And it's not so much that I don't want him to go out and have fun. It's the whole. I grew up with the if you're not there, you can't get blamed kind of
Right.
mentality, you know. So
If
it's
you
like
weren't
I
there,
don't
they
want you
can't call your
going.
name.
Exactly. If the parents ain't home, they're having some party, I don't want you. If I don't know about it in advance, I'm sorry, you can't go. Don't ask me Saturday at 2 p.m. for Saturday at 7. No.
Mm.
Right.
And all 9 o'clock, you now want to walk out.
Mm-hmm.
If I can't go with you, you ain't going. But I
That
have
sounds
to
good to
go.
me.
I
That's
mean, I
funny.
know his friends and stuff, but when you come and say a friend and you can't give me a name, you're not going. If you call the friend's name and I know it, then it's okay.
Mm.
It's that whole, I just don't know if they smoking, if they drinking. I know the
Of
music that
course.
would be playing. So you just never know. And that whole, I might be a little overprotective, but guess what? I don't want no police calling me at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock in the
Right.
night saying, well, we pick up so.
And
Hmm.
you have your kids' friends over a lot too, don't you?
They live here. I'm telling you, they're going to have to pay rent.
So that's a good way. You become the place they all come to, and then you say,
Yep.
Yes.
I
We
think they just
have
come here because they know they get food. But, you
mm.
know.
we have at MACMARK. I'm going to guess that he's Mac Mark, and he is very engaged in this conversation. He
I
Mhm.
has
love
a
it.
he has a 3.5-year-old who loves Janelle Monáe, and he is
Oh,
relieved. He's relieved, and he is trying
yes.
his best to hide her from the likes of Rihanna. And
Woo.
but we don't want the agency to come after us. So,
Well, which agency you talking about?
oh, you haven't? Okay, you haven't seen the video for the agency.
I've seen it, but since this is Caribbean Mom Chat, there's also the Bajan C.
Oh, no. There might be two. Rihanna might. Okay, yeah, she might have her own agency. But anyway, he's determined to hide her from Rihanna, or hide Rihanna
Mm.
from her until well after puberty. I don't. It might be possible because let's think about it. If she's 3.5 and Rihanna's what, 20
She
something
might
now,
fade away by then.
either she'll
Yeah.
fade away or nobody will want to see her naked at all, like ever. Like, please, for the love of everything, put clothes on. That's what we're gonna hope. Because by
She'll
that
be the
time, the
Madonna
Annabelle
for
But
is
her
gonna
that.
carry the
videos
yep.
will live forever.
Oh,
She'll
that
be on
is
the
true.
internet forever. So
Yeah, but then
Yeah,
by
but
that time she might be
Madonna's
like,
around.
"Who's that?" And she'll be going on Wikipedia looking to see if she's dead. And
But
hopefully by that time
dead yet?
she's just.
Is she dead yet? Is she?
Oh
Mm.
my gosh.
Okay, so we said we were gonna stay away from it mainly because we don't want the agency to come get us. But I need to know if you were in that elevator
mm.
Somebody must get to know.
and your sister is going ham on your husband, are you just gonna move your dress out the way, or are you gonna
Well,
be like,
what
I'm gonna
kind
need
of
you to
dress
stop
was it
slapping my
again?
husband? It was bad. Now the dress was bad. I wouldn't want
I
them staring at
mean,
my dress.
That
But
clearly was. There's so many
It's
things
a
that could
lot
happen
on
that
there
it's
night.
that
something that we will never know. We will
nope.
yeah,
simply never know what it is
and there's
because
a
it's just
lot of room
something
for
in between them.
speculation.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, we can pop it in, but I mean, if I just had to say something about it, I would think that her from the top view of that grainy video, it seemed like they've done this before, right? Like
Oh,
there's
okay.
been
Yeah, he didn't
drama
seem
before.
phased.
Mm.
right?
Like
So she's
again?
like,
Okay.
right, like here we go. Just let her talk, Jay. Don't worry. Just let her talk. And and I feel like Beyonce is very conscious of her public image, so she knew
Yeah.
we about to get out
Yeah,
this elevator. I'm not
yeah.
about to get
Yeah.
all into this right now.
I
Yeah.
was wondering if she thought that there might be cameras
Of
because
course,
she's
it,
very. If you look
it's
at the
Oh.
pictures
it's
of them coming
great.
out, she was so composed. She had a
Yeah.
smile on the
Unbelievable.
face. You
That
know,
is
Solange
unbelievable.
was still pissed. You know,
But she wasn't crying because have you ever like really been in a fight, like mad fighting?
Mhm.
yeah,
There was no tears. Her makeup was not smudged. Her hair was not out of place.
You
So
saw her
they've done
face.
it.
She was like,
Yeah, they have done this. This has been done in private,
Before.
mhm.
and yeah.
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah.
Mm.
Beyonce
Well,
is too put together to let that disturb her.
She's
it could
Queen
be
Bee,
yeah.
tough.
baby.
She's a pro.
She's
She's a
Queen.
professional. She's out. You know,
That's
you're
Queen
out. You're in
Bee.
public.
Queen
You
Bee.
know, there's a way that you carry yourself. I looked at it and I was like, wow. You know, she keeps it together. You know.
Mm.
A
Yeah.
little bit of me hoped that she would like, show something, like,
Like
like
she's not a robot. I think that's what I'm like.
yeah, like I would have
Actually,
been so
like
excited if she like threw a blow at one of
not.
them. I didn't care which one. She could have thrown a blow at Jay. I would have been like, yeah, get him. But she did
Or just
nothing.
or roll her neck like, get
But
him, girl.
I guess when you're Beyonce, any and everything is beneath you, and it's like, okay, you want to act a fool? Go ahead.
Go
See
ahead.
who remembers your name come next week. But yeah, I
Right.
mean, if it's something they're accustomed to,
Mm.
she's just
Yeah.
like, you know what? Go ahead, carry
Right.
on.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
this is how you do.
So yeah, but
Clearly,
whatever it is
Solange
that
is
triggered
the
that girl, oh Lord, I'm telling you,
It was
been
clearly
there a
something
few
Solange
deep.
is
It
the
times.
was
one.
deep. It
You
was
know
on
Clearly.
what?
the inside,
Oprah's
like
Oprah will get it out of him.
yes,
Oprah
Yes.
gonna
bruh.
have Solange on it. She
No,
gonna
and
get
it
it
don't
out
Get,
have
get
to
her
be
to
a
because
open
wet.
up.
she
Oh,
got old boy to admit to steroids. She will
Yes.
have people admitting to anything.
Yes.
I need Oprah if you're watching, and I know
Let's
you're
start
not.
tweeting
If
her.
you're
Let's start
watching,
tweeting her.
yes, Oprah. That needs to be a new hashtag. Oprah get Solange, please.
Yes.
Get her,
Hashtag Oprah
get her.
Did she have
Salon.
Lindsay Lohan having a whole thing? Wasn't she
Yes.
helping
All
her?
of
Yes,
it.
people will
does
admit to
anybody watch
anything.
that?
Drugs,
No, I didn't watch that.
anything.
I don't think I've seen the commercials, but not into it.
Mm-mm.
The only thing I saw of that was the clip where Oprah put her in her place and was like, "You wanted to be a professional. You wanted to do this show. You better stop playing the fool
See,
and do
even
Yeah.
what you need
Oprah
to
got her
do."
little ratchet going on. She had that whole
Were
because
you
everyone's
paying
like,
attention?
"Ooh, Oprah fighting, Oprah." You know, she got the.
Mm,
You have to have that little bit of ratchet to make it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
mm.
That was
Well,
deep.
we have
I agree.
actually talked ourselves all like full swing up to now, like full swing.
It was awesome
Oh
though.
my gosh, that was fun. I'm tweeting my back out. My fingers are open.
Tweet your back out. Oh Lord.
You
That
did
don't sound
really
right. That
well
sounds a little
too.
risque,
I
darling.
know it does. That's ratchet music right
Back
there.
out.
Oh, not my back.
Tweet
You
your
know,
back
whenever
out.
you
Tweet your back out. Oh,
my
tweet your back out. Tweet your back out. That's
oh
my
no,
song. That's my jam.
that's my jam.
That's my
Don't tell the kids. Don't tell the kids. That's my jam.
jam.
Yeah, crazy.
So this has been Mama Lime / Caribbean Mom Chat. We have two hashtags just in case you have a lot to say and you can't put the other hashtag on there. Use the short one. I am Eva from SocaMom.com. Ladies, go ahead and introduce yourselves so that everybody can find you on Twitter. Oh, and I'm at SocaMomDC on Twitter. Please do not tweet at SocaMom. She gets annoyed. Okay, it's not me. All right. It was at SocaMomDC.
That is hilarious. Well, I'm Alicia Simone, editor of rewindandcomeagain.com, tweeting from my blog's handle, Rockablog, RACABLOG. It's been lovely, people.
All right, I'll go next. I'm Nelly. I would have been here all night. I'm Nelly, and I blog at BrooklynActiveMama.com, and my Twitter handle is BrooklynActiveMama, BKLYN, Active Mama.
And I'm Monica. I hate putting out my Twitter stuff because I very rarely tweet, and I tell you guys it's every week, but it's at Onika Pascal. That's ONIKAPASCAL. I used to blog. It's still out there somewhere, but you'll find me on Facebook.
And I'm Nicole.
Hi,
And
Nicole.
hi. And I blog at whendidibecomemymom.com. And you can find me on Twitter at Nixgreen, NICSGREENE. Thanks for having me along this week, guys. It was
We were
Thank you
lovely.
so
for
It
glad to
was
coming.
have you
fun.
here.
It was
That was
great.
fun.
Thanks,
See you
Eva.
guys.
Thanks, ladies.
That's everybody.
Bye.
Oh
That's
my
it.
gosh.
We all said it.
Yay. Okay.
Yay.
So, you all, we do this the second Tuesday of every month. So, put it on your calendar. Follow everybody on Twitter so that you don't miss it next time.
Yep.
Yeah. So tweet us, and we'll see you. Bye.
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 Don't